Well, hello there, Salomdi back again, and this is some quite interesting gameplay. I personally think it's one of my best performances that I've done in quite a while, and although the score isn't the best, that's really not respective of the quality of the gameplay, simply because basically I tend to have a few people that I play with quite often. I've known them for a long time. I play most games that well, just in general with them. I mean, I play League of Legends with them, Team Fortress 2, SMNC, and also Tribes Ascend, which I've only started playing yesterday. But yeah, because I was in this team, not a full team, and they're pretty good players, but they can't deal with like really strong players, people who would be considered like competitive players. Um, for example, people who would appear in skill play, simply because they get bored of public matches and find that they're not that fun. And guess who we went up against? A full team of people from the creepy community. Now, I've got nothing against the creepy community personally, but they honestly seem to be incredibly skilled, or at least the large majority of them do. I've met a few people who have absolutely no idea what's going on, and I'm guessing that they're just using the creepy clan tag rather than actually being members of the creepy community. Um, but regardless, um, the because of that, I've pretty much having to 1v5 it this entire match. So consider, if you see my score at the end, you'll see why. I say that this is a really good gameplay, and it also highlights the assassin's ability to do well, pretty much regardless of her team, or as people can generally put it, the assassin is the one of the only classes, if not the only class, that can properly ignore what the rest of her team are doing in a public match. This is just an example, this match here. And yeah, pretty much as long as you can keep killing constantly, the assassin's carry potential is quite high. And also, just as a quick side note, if you've ever wondered how I do that jump in any of my videos at all, really, basically all you do is walk up to a jump pad that doesn't have a back and lunge on it. It's as simple as that, and it will take you flying. It's very useful for getting across Loco Moco really quickly. Also very useful for turret diving, because it allows you to get past the front turrets without having to deal with much. So anyway, as I was saying, when you're having to pretty much 1v5 it, you have to be on the lookout for as many cheap sources of damage as you can. For example, ejectors. They're one major source of damage that people don't tend to be very aware of, and generally they won't see you coming if you're an assassin, because you can just drop down behind them onto the ejector. And on top of this, you need to be trying to pick out the people at the very back of their pack, and waiting until there's somebody on low health retreating, or has a low base health pool. So for example, it really changes per class, but for example, a veteran who's on 30% health, I'd say generally is killable, whereas a combat girl who's on, I don't know, 50 might be easily killable. And generally you should more or less ignore the Annihilator when you're 1v fighting, but my team this is the first Annihilator, so I didn't know if how well we were going to be able to put up a fight for the Annihilator, and we actually managed to deny them it for a while, which is always a good thing. But then pretty much you should be pushing lanes as much as possible instead of bothering with the Annihilator, as pushing, you can just completely ignore the Annihilator if you know you're going to lose it, and just push lanes, and you'll actually be fine, more or less. But that's only if you do push the lanes. And as you see there, my team didn't push the lanes enough, so we lost turret before the Annihilator, and then the bots were able to push up to our back turret, second turret even, not a back turret, and then they're also taking out the other front turret. And also, when you're playing 1v5, try as much as possible to take out their defenders. They pretty much will sustain a push completely. As you see, Uncle Cause just being an aggy little bastard, and me being completely blind to that assault. But hey, yeah, the defenders will keep you locked in your base, sustain their push by giving out free heals, and pretty much like the only thing you can do if they're bunched up around their defenders is go and backdoor. If you don't know what backdooring is, then basically you go behind the enemy and kill their bots, so that they don't have any bots to tank the turret damage for them. And then once they don't have any bots, it is a lot easier to take them out and push them back, especially from behind, because they won't be expecting it. You just have to be careful, because generally a good player will realise that they're being backdoored after not having any Fujis or Shadies for about a minute. But there's always people who forget and don't notice, because they're more interested in shooting at people. So what can you do? But here I make a kind of silly mistake. I dive into a 1v4 trying to get a backstab off, which I do, and it was totally worth it, because like I said, taking out their defender. It's a shame it wasn't the combat girl, because then I would have got rid of her turrets anyway as well. But still saying worth it, just to piss them off, you see. And generally anything that you can do to get them to ignore your teammates and focus on you, giving your teammates an easier time, is generally quite a good idea. As you'll see me, I think, oh, I just had a bit of toast, and yeah. Anyway, anything that you can do to get them to ignore your teammates and chase after you, is generally a good idea. As you see me die here, because of being on low health when that veteran came. Incidentally, the veteran's stall damage is ridiculously high at the moment. Don't know why, but hey. But yeah, the assassin can kite quite nicely, just in general, due to her high mobility. Got nerfed a little bit this latest patch due to the lunge interval nerf, I guess you'd call it. And I think it's about here that I do it. No, it's not. But anyway, you'll see it when it comes to it. But pretty much, you've just got to be killing bots as much as possible, and stay as far out of the enemy's line of sight as possible. Also, don't be afraid to use your smoke bomb as a retreating tool. And pretty much, if you get surprised, don't bother engaging, just run away. The smoke bomb just makes it easier to lose people, and it's actually quite a powerful tool. And I didn't mention it in my assassin tutorial, but generally people don't do it, so I thought I'd just mention it here. Anyway, now I'm just pretty much trying to do whatever I can in order to delay them pushing into our rocket turrets. So pretty much just spawning the Annihilator, not spawning the Annihilator, what am I saying? Spawning bots as much as possible. And the Scramblers actually helped me get this kill. If it wasn't for the Scramblers, I wouldn't have got that kill. I would have been grappled by the veteran and then proceeded to be headshooted by Mr. Cord there. And yeah, the reason why I did that just there is I knew what happened at the last Annihilator. I knew it wouldn't be beneficial to pursue it very much, if at all. So I was just like, screw this. I'm just gonna push back the bot waves to delay them pushing to the Annihilator, not the Annihilator, the Money Ball. God, the as much as possible. And this strategy is more or less paying off in terms of stalling for time. I mean, ideally what you want to do is stall for time until everyone's hit level 15, because generally the enemy team will have a level advantage over you if you're having to do this. And then you can be on more equal terms. Especially if they got a few early kills, whereas your team didn't, but you did. Ironically, I actually was the top scorer for pretty much the entire match, barring the last minute, which is kind of annoying. But it was a good game nonetheless. Oh, and I think no, that's not it. Anyway. One thing that will mess people over a lot, actually, is a combination of veteran and ice trap and sniper. Simply because of the sniper's ice traps, making it incredibly difficult to escape from the veteran. So if you get clawed in by the veteran and then grappled, a smart sniper will put down an ice trap on top of the grapple, so that the moment it ends, you'll be instantly rooted to the ground and unable to do anything. And in this case, that's pretty much guaranteed kill, almost as much as somebody chain grappling you, if not more, because there is no chance to get away. Unlike with a chain grapple, where there is a slim chance that you'll be able to get away. But pretty much, if you do whatever you can to avoid veterans as an assassin, simply for that reason there, their chain grapple ability is just ridiculously high. And yeah, this game is pretty much over. As you can probably tell, I mean, the money ball's down, we've got jackbots rolling into our base. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I haven't done this kind of commentary in a while, actually, I don't think. So, yeah, I'll see you later.